Yes, finally, it's Dark Souls 3. I can't tell you how much I love these games. Not just because I'm a masochist, although that certainly helps, but also because I really love the dark, gothic style of these games, and this one is really no different. The storyline and atmosphere in Dark Souls 3 is similar to previous games, but still a fresh experience, and some of the characters are recognisably nostalgic. Some of the fans' favourite characters have even made a comeback, but I'll leave you to discover which ones for yourselves rather than ruin it for you. As well as the visual style, the character creation in this game is also fairly standard Dark Souls affair. You have a choice of 10 characters, unless you happen to have an Nvidia graphics card, in which case you have the choice of just one, due to the wonderful bonfire crashing bug. Now, I solved it just by putting my graphics settings on low, but if you don't want to do that, then Knight is the only class that won't crash the game each time you approach a bonfire, but I'm sure it will be patched soon. Back to character creation, as with other Dark Souls games, you can customise your character's features based on presets or fiddle with the settings to create your own. I always use presets because I'm lazy. You can also change your skin tone, your hairstyle and hair colour. As you can see, I like to set my skin tone so bright that it will dazzle any potential invaders. That way I can backstab them with ease. Then, once you finalise your creation, which if you're as pedantic as me might have already taken you an hour, you can finally start the game. The game starts easy enough with its subtle tutorial section to teach new players the basics, which is written in messages on the ground. Now, if you're a veteran player, then the controls are pretty much the same as the previous games, so feel free to just run past them. Oh, I think we all know what this guy wants. I'm really not that vindictive, you know. The route to the first bonfire is populated only by some nice, easy mobs. If you have an Nvidia graphics card, this might be your first moment of dread. Still, blue screen of death might be a welcome change from "you died." Now, for the first boss, there are two ways of looking at it. Now, for a veteran player, he's probably going to be quite easy. You know, he hits really hard, but is also quite slow and easy to dodge. However, for a new player, it's likely to be a bit of a baptism by fire, as at the boss's second stage, he will kill you in just 2 hits. Now, I am all for the Dark Souls hard as nails approach. However, I think that maybe for new players, this could be a tad too far. Even with the first boss in the first Dark Souls, you could still take at least around about 4 hits before it killed you. If you're a veteran player and the boss wasn't hard enough for you, then to the left of the entrance to Firelink Shrine is a worthy opponent who likes to eat veterans for breakfast. This guy is fast, agile, and hits very, very hard. Now, I tried to have a nice honourable duel with this guy on my first character, but he decided just to nosedive off the cliff, which felt more like a win by default, so here is my second challenge. Ah, good times. After this, you'll find your way to Firelink Shrine, which is sort of a hub world where you can level up, buy items, upgrade your weapons. You can teleport here from pretty much any bonfire in the game, and just remember, if you use a homeward bone, then it no longer returns you to the last bonfire you rested at by default, but will give you a choice of porting here instead, so make sure you remember, if you use one in haste, that there will be an extra click involved. If you've played previous Dark Souls games, you'll notice that the combat is a lot faster in this game, and the character feels much more responsive. Unfortunately, the enemies are faster too, so the change means you can attack faster and get ganked faster. Joy! The game also has a nice little dragon, just in case you missed being roasted by the one in Dark Souls 1. Multiplayer works much the same way in this Dark Souls game as it does in the previous ones. You can summon or be summoned as a White Phantom to help other players through hard areas or defeat bosses, or you can invade or challenge players to duels. Now, this is where things get salty, because invading has been changed to prioritise those players with phantoms summoned other than those soloing. Seems fair enough to me, as they're the ones being invaded. Invaders, however, are complaining that 2 against 1 fights aren't honourable, and invading somebody else's game when they're just trying to complete the level is honourable? I rest my case. Anyway, if you're a masochist like me and enjoyed the previous Dark Souls games, or if you're a player who is up for a real challenge, then you'll love this latest instalment. However, if you have an Nvidia graphics card and you can't handle slumming it on the lowest graphical settings for a while, then you might want to wait for the patch to come out before you invest in the PC version of this game. Of course, it is also out for console. Personally, I really love this game, and I'm glad I took the chance to purchase it on day one and didn't listen to all of the doomsayers of "oh my god, blue screen of death." You know, the bug is an inconvenience, and it's never good when buggy games are released, but in my opinion, the solution is quite simple and it hasn't destroyed the game for me, so it's up to you really.